Let's discuss.
Hey everyone, it's Rachel, back again with another Unsigned Sunday video, and as I always say in these videos, if you haven't seen one before, it is exactly what it sounds like. On Sundays, I reserve videos on this day for unsigned bands. 99.99% of them are bands who have reached out to me to be featured on Unsigned Sunday, but usually like once or twice a year I'll have a band that I've picked to feature, and that would be like today. So I'm going to be checking out a full EP, although it runs about 8.5 minutes, so it's nothing too crazy in terms of length. This band is called EraseThem. They're a band I found last year when they put out another short EP that I loved. I just love the sound. It's very tough, it's aggressive, and I'm excited to see what they've done on this EP called All Were Shamefully Silent. I will link all of their social media, any promotional links in the description of this video. There are 4 tracks on it. I will include chapters so you can see which track is which. And at the end, of course, I'll discuss it as usual. If you are in an unsigned band and you want to be added to the list of bands I'm working through, which is very long, for Unsigned Sunday, please send whatever you have over to rachelreacts@gmail.com. Make the subject something that includes Unsigned Sunday submission. Send over anything I may need for editing, like the logo, any sort of information I may need for the intro or outro, that sort of thing. And again, please only use that if you are in the band who is requesting, because as I mentioned, we have a very long list that we're working through for Unsigned. But all that being said, I'm going to stop talking. We are going to get straight into it. Oh! Woo! All right. Oh. Uh-oh. As expected, tough as hell. Needed like 5 seconds for this to be my favorite intro so far. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh, keep going. Oh, the subtle slowdown. Gotta hold the headphones on. Oh, that outro was disgusting. Know what's coming. Doesn't pick up at all. I love that. EraseThem. All Were Shamefully Silent. Let's discuss. I'm really surprised not to hear more people talking about this band. For those who aren't aware, the vocalist of this band is the ex-vocalist of Varials, Travis, and he just does a phenomenal job with this band. I undoubtedly prefer his work on EraseThem to anything that I ever heard from Varials with him entirely. It's just, but I also think that speaks directly to where my taste has been lately. For this, like, I guess for me more than for this, but having those chugs, and it feels like this goes even further in, like with the first EP, it's chuggy, it's groovy, it's ass beater-licious as well, as I would call this EP, but this like leans into that. Maybe it's even maybe even more so with some of the qualities that I had just mentioned. I do think that both of the times that I've listened through their EPs, being the first and this one, they just feel like not enough for me. I just want more of this sound. I mentioned a lot last year about how Distinguisher was really a band that got me more into like the super tough stuff and started kind of delving more into stuff that has this sound really. I think with some of the build-up they place on this album, like that, I can't remember which track it was. I think it was somewhere in the middle, but just the slowdown was like almost to a halt, and then it delivers on that. And I feel like when you provide so much build-up, actually delivering on it at that point where you're like, this is like the toughest build-up to this moment, how will you deliver on it? This is one of those bands that just does. They don't ever like make me. And Walk of the Willing is my favorite track from them historically in like the 6 months that I've known them. That was my favorite track from them. That was the first track I heard from them, and it's just so tough. And I think that this has songs that will challenge that for me, and being a first song I heard from them remaining my favorite, although they obviously don't have that much to pick from. But I think my first impression of that song and being so impressed with it and wanting more from them, that feeling has never gone away with everything they've released. And so though we are early on in this band's career and their discography and stuff, I think that we are moving in a promising direction. It's got the tough breakdowns, but at the same time, the things that lead to those moments, those are just as important. And this is a band for me, I feel like a lot of what I listen to, it'll have those moments, but I've been listening to stuff that incorporates like, you know, a lot of contrast, where with EraseThem, I feel like they are consistently heavy. Of course, they may take like a moment to but not sonically, I suppose, is what I'm getting at here. It's just an ass-beating band. They've been, you know, I think lately with Heavener, my on repeat label is not as accurate as it normally is. So they've been on repeat for me since I was introduced to them. The last few weeks I haven't listened to them because I've been busy listening with Heavener and stuff, but this will put them directly back onto my radar. So as much as I don't love like those super short EPs that just feel like such almost like a tease for wanting more from this band, I do think it's productive in terms of getting out there for them, keeping their release calendar moving. Like, I just heard them, I think when I discovered them, it may have been like November. It was late in 2022 for sure. It was very late in the year, and so to have the first EP last year and then come into 2023 and have a Q1 release, I feel like that's a productive way to. I mean, I don't want to say like. I don't want to bring up the word relevant because I talked a little bit with Hansel from Nightlife about that on the interview I did with him recently. It's just we shouldn't be like rushing bands because they need to stay relevant when we have so much material to be going over, to be listening to. We have discographies and stuff. But for a brand new band, I guess it just feels different because there's only so many times I can run through that, the first EP, but now I have this in addition to it, and it wasn't a huge wait between them, I suppose is what I'm saying. Like, when you're craving more of a project, if they had done, taken the time to do a full length, I think it would have went over well for them, but maybe not as well as like, all right, let's work on this EP, release it, see the feedback, continue moving forward with that momentum, get some, like I said, feedback on it, see what people are feeling about it, and then just keep like kind of polishing your sound until you're ready, or whatever. Like, obviously, it's not my call, but I think having these 2 EPs, I'll put them together in like a playlist, and there won't be anything that I'll skip, but it's got that beatdown sound to it. I think that it's the most interesting too for me of like the newer beatdown type of bands I've tried to get into since Distinguisher broke up. There's been a hole in my life for bands that I want to go see live and stuff, and I've been trying to kind of... Throne is a great one. Throne is a tough band that I'd love to see Throne and EraseThem on tour, I guess I'll say. Anyway, I'm just kind of blabbing at this point, but I was really happy with this. I could not pick a favorite track on first listen. I think there were 2 that stood out to me, but I'll need to go revisit and listen through, because there were a lot of moments that stuck out to me rather than this song is way better than this one, which is better than this one. It was more like moments of all over the EP that stuck out to me, which is very positive on first listen. So let me know what you thought in the comments. If you have If you have a favorite EraseThem track, let me know what it is in the comments as I work on figuring out what mine is. I will link all of the band's social media, promotional links, all of that in the description of this video. Other than that, you can also find my Linktree, which will have the link for the Patreon. We have monthly live streams on the Patreon. We have extra content that I've been working on. There are 2 different video type series that I'm working on now. One of them I just posted part 1 for this past week as I'm filming this. The other I've been working on for like 2 weeks of filming and trying to figure out how to film it, that sort of thing. There are playlists / mixtapes for tier 3. I'm just trying to offer as much as I can and kind of try to keep evolving that for lack of better terms. Today, talking is the most difficult. Anyway, Patreon is in the link tree, as well as the invite for the Discord server, which is where the community for my YouTube channel is based. We have a lot of music lovers in there, music-related conversation, unrelated to music as well, just kind of a lot going on. So if you're interested in coming to join and check the community out, that will be there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.